Hi, I'm Sam Larson,
Hello, I am Jude Abbadessa.
and this is the Players Only podcast. All right, Stu, I got some questions for you. First, why did you want to come to Tulane?
That's a great question to start us off with. I wanted to come to Tulane, obviously for many reasons, and I'm super glad I did. I'm taking a look out at our ballpark right now. It's beautiful. The New Orleans area kind of took me in, which was special. But just coming down here after talking to the staff and everything, the community, the staff we have here, and kind of what they've built here as a team really was impressive to me. I'm glad I joined here, obviously, and I just think it's a family here. It truly is a family. I think the coaches do a good job with that. I think the players, we've had a lot of guys come in the portal, and the players that have been here, we've created just a very strong group. And I think just the family aspect of it here and how we compete and how we play and just the grittiness of this group is kind of what brought me here and why I'm glad to be at Tulane Green Wave.
Sounds good.
Right back at you. Why did you want to come to Tulane?
Okay, so I don't think a lot of people know this. Tulane's been a dream school of mine for a good bit of time now. My sister actually graduated from here in 2020. So going back to that, it's been my dream school since high school. Didn't have the opportunity to come here in high school, so I knew when I entered the portal this was going to be kind of my dream spot. But yeah, the dynamic of how good of a school it is, the weather, the New Orleans area, and then the staff and stuff. I mean, talking to Izio, having Curto bring me in on my visit, it was awesome. Yeah, so Izio, Frankie, when we had Billy, it was just a great dynamic of all the coaches helping out.
Yeah, I mean, I'll bring up a quick story when Iz first called me when I was in the portal, I can't remember exactly what hole I was on, but I think I was on hole 7 or 8. I was playing 18 with my friends in summer ball, and he came at me hard. He was asking if I was a dog or whatever, and I was super, super happy to be on the phone with him. But then he was like, yo, go enjoy your 18 holes and then give me a call after. And I was like, oh, yeah, this is a pretty cool coach. And obviously me and Iz have a great relationship now, so shout out Iz. But, yeah, it was a funny story of why I got here.
Yeah, no, glad it worked out. All right, when do you remember picking up a baseball?
Man, I mean, I feel like baseball's just been a part of my life forever. The place I trained back home, Raleigh Baseball Institute, I was the youngest ever to start training there. I think it was usually like 6 years old to start training there. I started training there when I was 4. But there's a lot of pictures that I see. My earliest memory was probably those first days there when I was 4 years old, but I know before I was even 1 year old, there was definitely a ball in my hand. Shout out to Dad and Mom and my brother. But no, I mean, baseball's kind of been my life for as long as I can remember, and I'm super grateful for that, and hopefully it continues to be a big part of my life. It's such a special game and such a great sport.
Yeah, for sure.
So right back at you. I'd love to do this. Answer it for yourself. I'd love to answer it, but describe yourself as a pitcher in 5 words. I'd love to describe you, but go ahead and...
You want to go ahead? Do that? Is that allowed?
No, I want to hear you go. I'll tell you if I agree or not.
All right. First, I'd say passionate, gritty, competitive. What else we got? Dude, I might need your help on this.
So we got, you went gritty, passionate,
competitive.
That was kind of the realm I was in right there. Just, I mean, the way you work out there, obviously the way you work off the field too. You put in a lot of work and a lot of care. But, I mean, those 3 words are pretty much what I'd say.
Good with 3, Corey? Fierce? Sure. All right, Stu, why the number 0?
Yeah. I started out at 48 my freshman year of college. That was kind of just a random number I was given. Then I changed to 10 after I was out with Tommy John surgery. That was because I had 10 appearances my freshman year, and I wanted it to kind of show me that I need to be better, and I want to have more than 10 appearances because obviously that's not enough for what I want to do with my life and all that. So I had 10 there, and I came here, and I couldn't get 10. I can't remember exactly why. And then I was down to like 3 numbers, and shout out Marcus Stroman, legendary Cub and Yankee for both of us here. But I watched him throw growing up. Me and him obviously kind of are the same build, kind of undersized, underlooked pitchers in a way you could say. And in the WBC and when he was with Toronto, when he was really, really good, I loved watching him compete. And I think out on the mound, I try and kind of display Marcus Stroman in the way of how he throws, his exact throw, and then I do like his antics as well.
Yeah, I feel like you guys are pretty similar.
Next question, Sam. What was the biggest change from Division III ball to Tulane?
You know what? I think the competition is for sure the biggest thing. I'd say the level of care, though. Being at a Division III, everyone is very passionate and competitive there, but I feel like there's another level of every single guy on this field wants to play professional baseball. No matter who you ask, all of them wants to play professional baseball, and their goal is to keep playing at the next level. I will say, I think the fall and winter was very different than a Division III. We had a lot more practices, a lot more games, scrimmages, so in that sense it was very different. But yeah, no, I think the love for the game is very similar. I mean, no matter what level you go to, JUCO, NIA, D3, D2, D1, but yeah, I'd say it's pretty similar. Not as big of a gap as some people would think for sure, being at a school like Denison. But yeah, I mean, I've loved both schools and glad I got to end up here. All right, Jude, you've got one pitch to win the World Series. What are you throwing? I feel like I know the answer to this.
I mean, in our pitchers meetings, I've been talking about it a little bit, kind of how I'm falling in love with all my pitches and trying to kind of give them their little even praise, but it's tough. I mean, obviously I'd love to go with the fastball and then show some emotion off the mound, but then, I mean, I can't go away from the bread and butter slider. So I'd probably throw a slider, but my heart, my brain, and my antics off the mound would definitely want that fastball, but I'm going to have to go slider.
Yeah, I agree.
So wild card, I can ask you any question. I should have prepared for this a little bit. Oh, man, this is tough. Actually, here we go. If you were on an island stranded by yourself, who on the team would you pick to be with you and to actually make it out? Not just for fun, to make it off the island. I don't know how you're getting off the island, but this person, you have to stay there for a little bit, live, make it off.
All right, first I got to say it's crazy you just thought of that and didn't plan for that at all or anything. First name that comes to head is Blaze Wilsinski.
Love it.
I mean, that dude knows how to do everything. If it's grilling you a steak or changing your tire, I think Blaze is the man for all of that stuff. So if I had to survive, I'm picking Blaze 100%.
To go back at that, how about most fun on the island? Maybe you don't make it out alive, but who would you want to be on an island with just for a little bit?
I feel like Johnny Elliott would be a lot of fun. He's my roommate or one of my housemates, so I think that'd be a fun one. I think that'd be very entertaining, just running around the island with him all day. No survival skills, but we'd have a fun time for a couple days.
There you go.
All right, back to you. What was your first impression of me?
I mean, I feel like we developed our close relationship pretty late, which I honestly kind of regret. Obviously, with a lot of guys coming in, you kind of fit into this group like right away. Obviously, where I live, it kind of was house-to-house relationships. But I think, I mean, first impression, I think we became friends once we started respecting each other and kind of doing our work together rather than alone and just looking at each other and being like, oh, this guy kind of knows what he's doing, or I kind of like what he's doing. But first impression was obviously just a really good kid. You kind of came off a little bit quiet, and that's how you come off sometimes, but you are not. I think you're very outgoing, and I'm glad that we've became such good friends.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a good one too. What's your go-to karaoke song?
Karaoke song. Let me think. I think any like pop song, like a Taylor Swift song. Last Friday Night by Katy Perry. That's up there. Something like that. Something along those lines.
I think we're gonna have to see that. We're gonna have to see that soon. That's awesome.
Yeah, somewhere around that area. All right, Jude. Best road trip snack.
A lot of people come at me for these. I've just kind of gotten into those Feastables or Beastables, whatever they're called, by Mr. Beast. The candy bars. I think that is a really good snack. Shout out Mr. Beast. But go-to snack for me, I'd say Oreos. I know they're kind of OGs. Shout out Will Clements and all the guys that come over to my place, and we just devour Oreos. I wish he was on the road with us. He will be shortly. But me and him just can delete a pack of Oreos. And on the road, I think Oreos, especially when you have some cold milk on the side, or even to dip the Oreos in, I don't think there's anything better for a snack. Obviously, those are very unhealthy options. But if you're going to snack, why not? Why not go after it?
Yeah, I like the Oreos answer. I don't know about the
Feastable?
Mr. Beast bar.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
Honestly, I'm just hoping for Mr. Beast to shout out and give me what he has. What's the best thing about your roommate on the road? I know we have different roommates, but what do you like about a roommate on the road?
You know what? So I've had a different roommate for every trip, and I honestly like that the most. I think it's awesome that we get randomly paired because there's some position players that I've been matched with. Like I was with Jack Johnson this week for the Lamar trip, and some guys that like I don't get to spend too much time with, like Jack. So it's really nice, like spending 12 hours with him straight. So I really get to know him. But yeah, no, I've had a big variety of roommates. I've had Jack Brafa, who I'm housemates with, Evan Berg. It was fun being with him because I've had some class with him, and being a freshman, I don't get to see him that much, so it was nice having him, and then most recently Jack. But yeah, I think that's my favorite part, that we're randomly paired, so you get to spend some time with guys that you normally don't spend time with. All right, now
Back
can
to
I ask?
it.
Yeah, I can ask this.
You can do it.
What was your first welcome to New Orleans moment?
When I'm just driving around and I'm like a minute away from my house on a drive and I look and I see the city of New Orleans, I always try and take that in. I think that's very cool. Obviously, being from upstate New York, it's obviously far away from here. And if someone would have told me I would have been here playing for Tulane back in the day, I don't know what I would have said. But I kind of take that in every single time, even though I've obviously seen it a million times. Just seeing the dome and obviously the city, and just being grateful to be here. I guess my welcome to New Orleans would just be seeing the dome and all like the legendary stuff that's down in New Orleans.
Yeah, there's so much stuff to do with like the alligator tours. I know we had that for orientation coming as a transfer, so all that stuff's pretty cool.
Yeah, also I'm a very picky eater, and I've kind of been trying to get away from that. I tried, what was it?
An oyster.
I tried an oyster. Not a raw one. I don't think I'll ever be able to do that, but I tried an oyster. I've tried some other things that I can't even name because I never thought that I would try them. And that's another welcome to New Orleans moment. Obviously, I do not want to try them, but when the boys make me try them, I will do my best. All right, next question. What profession other than baseball would you want to pursue?
Honestly, what I love is like the baseball analytics. So me and Jude actually talk about this stuff, I think, every single game in the dugout or the bullpen. Like the analytical side of baseball, like the stats, especially the pitching metrics, like I find that stuff super interesting. So in a dream world, I'd play baseball for as long as possible, and then after that go into some analytical position as a maybe pitching coach. So that stuff's really interesting to me, and I know Jude has that same interest.
Yeah, I back that big time. I mean, we cannot go 5 minutes without talking about it. But to back that question, how about like a crazy one? Because I know my crazy one, like what I would want to do. Like, do you have one or?
Honestly, kind of on a separate note, it would be just to travel the world and write about it. I mean, there's so much stuff to do, and like I grew up in a family that every summer or spring break I was always traveling to a new country, so I find that stuff really interesting. So if I had the opportunity just to write about my trips and kind of try new experiences, but it's kind of hard to do that. What about you? What was your answer?
I've always been, I know I just said I'm a picky eater and don't really eat seafood, but I've always been fascinated with the sea and oceans and stuff. So being like a deep sea explorer or doing something cool like that, I've told my brother that all the time. He brought up this like, I'm also into like all the conspiracy theories and stuff. There's like the bloop, it's called. And it's like this sound that was made deep in the sea where obviously you can't go yet. And it was like this animal that made this noise would have to be this big. And I thought it was fascinating. So I don't think I would ever go down deeper than 10 feet in the water. But if I could have a sick job where I knew I'd be successful, maybe I would want to adventure down there and figure out what is at the bottom of those seas, if there even is a bottom. I don't know.
I would have never thought that out of it.
Isn't it cool, though?
That is cool. I like that. Is it you or me?
It's you, I think.
All right, I've been waiting to ask this one. What's your pregame meal?
There we go. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. Need to have Subway before games. I have like a 3-sub rotation. Again, I'm picky, so it's a plain meatball sub, a plain steak and cheese, where I mean just steak and cheese on plain bread, or plain chicken and cheese, just chicken and cheese. And every single time it hits, no matter what. And it became a thing to where I like actually needed to have a steak and cheese to be successful over the summer. If I didn't, I don't know what was going to happen on the mound. But yeah, I mean, eat fresh, I guess.
I think the chicken and cheese is just interesting.
Yeah, it's a
little
plain.
dry, no?
Oh, it is dry.
I mean, you were sitting there eating that for an hour in Texas.
You better get a beverage if you're going to eat what I'm eating. You need a bev.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right, staying on this style, deep dish or tavern style?
Deep dish. Being from Chicago, I'm always going to go deep dish. Deep dish. I love a deep dish pizza, and honestly, it's kind of hard to find around here. But back in Chicago, Lou Malnati's always my go-to. Yeah. Have you had deep dish?
I have had deep dish. Honestly, like, haven't even really heard the term tavern style.
Is that just like the thin sliced? Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even know it went by that. But yeah, I have had deep dish. I'm actually a pretty big fan, but also I don't like toppings on pizza. So, cheese pizza.
All right. What sport other than baseball would you want to try?
One of my biggest regrets is not trying to play quarterback. I don't know if I would have been good. Obviously, I think I have the arm for it. Sometimes the spiral comes out. Sometimes the duck comes out. But I would have loved to try football, just the team aspect of the game, the Friday night lights. I think it would have been super fun. But I am kind of glad I didn't try it just because of some of the risks that come with playing football. But, hey, if someone could have said, hey, you're not going to get hurt, go out there and try and play quarterback and run around and throw the ball, man, I would have loved to do that. So I'd say football. Obviously, don't really have the size for it, but shout out Kyler Murray. I would have tried my best K1 impressions.
I feel like javelin's got to be up there.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to try javelin.
Yeah, I mean, javelin's a big part of the throw, even with the pitch.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be looking over at our javelin throwers in a weight room trying to see what they're doing for their workouts. I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
All right. What was your first impression of me?
You know, I think it's pretty similar to what you were saying. We met pretty late of the fall semester. I don't think we were that close until then. I always had respect for how hard he worked. Like, I'd always notice him in the weight room. We never really trained together before the end of the fall. Even honestly, the beginning of this semester is when we really started to get close. But I'd always notice how hard he worked in the weight room. Even outside of our normal lifting hours, I'd always see him in there doing mobility, doing some arm care. So yeah, I respected him a lot, and when we finally got close is when we started training together and doing some of our stuff and learning from each other. So yeah, pretty similar first impression.
Really cool.
All right, it's me, right?
Yep.
Ooh, wild card. I should have planned for this too. I'm trying to think of, like, go off the vibe that you had
Yes, I'm
with
crazy.
the island. You know what? I'm going to ask you your question back. If you were on an island and you had to survive, who would you pick?
The answer that wants to come out is Bo Sampson. For some reason, it wants to
Survive?
come out. Yes. Because that dude is good at so many weird things and also knows so many weird things. And I don't know if that's just because I spend so much time with him, which is good and bad. But I'm going to have to go with Bo just because of all the things I've seen. I mean, there are sometimes I'm actually scared. And I'm like, how do you know how to do that? Or how do you know this? But then there are also some things, some simple things that he doesn't know how to do, which would maybe end up with us not making off the island. But I'm going to go with Bo. And then for a good time, I think also with my best time, I could make it off just because how smart he is, Trent Leols.
I like that.
I think me and him have really, really good times together. And he's also brilliant. So I think, hey, we might laugh ourselves off that island. But there is also a chance we don't make it. But yeah, I'd go Trent Leols for the good time, and my good buddy Bo for making it off safely.
You know what? That conversation about Bo, I feel like that came up in Lamar. We were
Just all
talking
the-
about
yeah.
the most random things that he knows how to do, and I forget how it started.
I mean, it could start with the craziest thing possible. That kid is unbelievable. He's unreal.
He is an interesting one.
Who is the funniest player on the team?
I think Bo's up there.
Yeah.
I think my top three, I'd put Bo in there. I'd put in my two roommates. I think Johnny Elliott and Owen Geis are probably the three most entertaining guys that I think I'm constantly laughing with. Who else do you got in there?
I mean, I think Jacob Moore.
I do think J-Bob's in
You
there.
can't forget about J-Bob. I mean, he is a very funny guy. But I agree with you. I think there are some sleepers too. I think Agabitis is funny
Yeah.
and can be very funny. I think Jack Brafa can also be funny, dude.
The whole house, yeah.
I think your house is just a very funny house.
I think there's just so many different personalities on the team that everyone's just entertaining. I do agree with J-Bob, though. He will say the most random one-liners. Like, we were in the bullpen against Lamar. I think it was the 8th inning. You might have already thrown, so you might have been in the dugout. But it was dead silent, and he randomly goes, "Does anyone else's parents, like, make them put their hands in their pocket when they walk through the grocery store?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he was talking about how his mom would make him put his hands in his pockets so he wouldn't be touching stuff or, like, breaking things. I was like, I've never heard of that.
Probably also throwing stuff into the cart, too.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
I mean, it's
was
just
not
the
there for
one-liners
that.
like that where it's just like, what are you talking about, and how'd you think of that? So
That's good.
J-Bob is up there for sure. All right, back to you. It's been 10 years since you won the Little League World Series. Do you consider yourself a hometown hero?
I don't think I'd ever say that I'm a hometown hero. I don't think that'd ever come out of my mouth. But I mean, that was definitely the most special experience and one of the most special things that could have ever happened in my life. Shout out NML New York. But just what it brought our community and the support that we had and still have to this day. I mean, 10 years is unbelievable to think about. I wouldn't say I'm a hometown hero, but definitely our team brought some stuff to NML New York and brought them together that wouldn't have happened without us. But just again, like, I'm so blessed and honored to have been able to do that, to be 12 years old, playing on ESPN, and not just playing on it once, but actually winning the entire tournament. I can't say enough about it, and I still kind of look back at it, and when the years go by, it's more and more special because I realize like how crazy it really was. But yeah, it was definitely very cool. Hopefully,
I mean, how'd that feel going back to middle school?
Yeah, it was nuts.
You just won you won the whole Little League World Series. That's crazy.
It was nuts. I mean, that year after, I probably was rarely in school. I mean, I was in the locker room with the Steelers, the Mets, the Yankees. I was on the field for your Cubbies in 2016 Game 4 for the national anthem. I became friends with the craziest celebrities ever. We got invited all over the place. I mean, it was crazy.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, when I was in school, I wouldn't say I was a hero, but it was definitely a little different. It was different.
Yeah. Well, Tanner Chun won it as well, right?
Yes, he did. I think he did, yeah. I think we have two of them.
2 winners on this team. That's crazy.
I wonder if we're the only team in college baseball that has that. That'd be a really cool fact.
Could be, yeah.
So, what is your favorite spot on campus?
I feel like it's got to be the Wilson Center. I feel like I spend most of my time on campus around this area, the Wilson Center and at Turchin Field, so it's got to be around here. Even when I'm not doing something baseball related, I mean, I just love hanging out in the locker room, get to see the whole team, get to see the coaching staff, so I got to say around here. Yeah. I think it's, yeah. What is something I don't know about you?
Man, I already used some of my good ones with the eating, the weird habits, the deep sea explorer. Something you didn't know about me. I was a pretty good hooper back in the day before I was obviously too small for it. 7th and 8th grade, I was a good hooper. And I rarely shoot nowadays. Honestly, it's just because I missed when I was actually decent at the sport. Ended up giving it up and focusing on baseball. But man, I think when I was a younger kid, I had a pretty good shot on me. So I think that's something you don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah. You already answered this, but I'll say it again. Maybe you could give a list. If you needed help replacing a flat tire, who on the team are you calling first?
Yep, Blaze would be number 1. I feel like Matthias Haas would be up there. He's got to know how to do that. Jack Brafa. Maybe Brett Rowell. Who else we got?
See, this is one where I'm seriously considering calling Jacob Moore.
I think J-Bob would know how to do that.
He would.
I agree. I feel like the older guys would all know how to do that. Who else?
Trust me, I wouldn't even know where to start.
I think that's it. I don't know if I'd trust anyone else.
It's a good list.
I feel like there's got to be one more. Maybe James Agabitas?
That's a sleeper.
Could be Bo. I feel like Bo would randomly know how to do that.
He does fill my tires. I still don't know how to fill a low tire. That's probably something I shouldn't be admitting to. But Bo, since I drive him around, I won't make him, but he offers to fill it when it's low. So I should probably learn how to do that. But I know he knows how to fill a low tire.
Yeah, so maybe Bo. Bo's up there. All right, the home stretch is here, and we need your support at Turchin Stadium.
Buy your tickets now at TulaneTix.com.
I'm Sam Larson. Roll Wave.
I'm Jude Abbadessa. Thank you guys so much. As always, Roll Wave.